Let's go.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Walk the Walk, a podcast by Footlocker, hosted by OTB. Today, we have a very special guest. Not only is he a great artist and a sneakerhead, I could also call him a homie. Deev, good to have you here, bro.
Good to have you here too, man.
Today, we're going to talk about Deev's come up in the art world, his inspirations, and on top of all of that, how he got into sneakers. So, Deev, tell us more about yourself, man.
My name is Abdelrahman Alwan. I'm a graffiti artist, visual artist who's into sneakers.
So, graffiti artist, graphic designer, sneakerhead. I'm curious to know when you thought, okay, let me experiment with graffiti or art in general.
Right. So for me, drawing and painting was something, let's say, essential since I was a kid. So I was just grabbing pencils and doing sketches and painting with the markers and everything since I was a little kid. And then it evolved to graffiti. Back in 2006, I saw Cope 2. He's a graffiti artist from Bronx, New York. I saw a couple of his pieces online and I got really inspired by it. He was doing letters and stuff like this. So I thought that this is something really insane, crazy. So I went to Baqala and I got some spray cans for half KD.
Nice.
Yeah.
This was here in Ahmadi.
Yes, in Ahmadi.
By the way, we are in the Ahmadi warehouse. Ahmadi, for everyone who doesn't know, is an area in Kuwait, southern Kuwait, close to the oil fields, the Burgan oil field. And it's a very unique neighborhood. The OTB warehouse is in Ahmadi, and Deev is a Ahmadi, what do you call it? Local Ahmadi native.
You can say that.
Resident local native.
Yeah, resident local of Ahmadi. So when you went to this Baqala, I'm assuming it was in this neighborhood.
Oh yeah, it's still here.
It's still there.
Here.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
we'll
still
visit
there.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you went half KD.
Yes,
And then-
exactly.
And then you went and started spray painting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which actually brings me to my next question. Growing up as a kid here in Kuwait, obviously spray painting, it's a gray area in terms of, is it legal? Is it not? Obviously, coming up as a younger Deev, were you ever worried about spray painting out in public?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it was like an issue or something to consider all the way through the journey, because people see it as vandalism, and at the same time, there is many kinds of graffiti artists. There is the one who wants to paint to vandalize, and there is people who wants to paint just to enjoy the moment, you know. So I was really worried about this back then, and I think for me it's just like I just try to find like places where I'm not doing it in a bad way or something like this. I would go just and paint
Right.
somewhere very far away from people or something like this.
Right. Random places.
Yes, and this is how it started.
Can you tell us about the first ever graffiti piece you've ever done? When was it and what was it?
First ever graffiti piece. I think it was saying BMAK, and that was like my tagging name
Okay.
before Deev. And it was here in Ahmadi. It was just a really small piece with one can, black color, just the outline, nothing else.
Where exactly is it? Is it?
Still
Does it
here?
still exist?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And I don't think that the first piece wasn't in a mall. It was in the basketball court.
Really?
Yeah.
On the floor?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if you know the basketball courts for the KOC.
Ah, yeah. Okay, there.
Yes.
Wow.
It was open to the public.
Nice.
There was no one over there, so
Wow.
I painted the piece on the floor. I think. Yeah.
You didn't get arrested for that, no?
No.
He's still here. Wow. Okay, I'm curious. Deev, where did that name come from?
So Deev is a Persian name, I think. It means monster. So a friend of mine told me, "Would you consider this name as a name to tag with?" So I really love the idea of the letters because, like graffiti artists, we consider letters as much as we consider the meaning of the name. So I really digged it back then, and I just went with it. I think since 2012.
Okay, I never knew that. Okay, so we touched on your come up as an artist, but I feel like as passionate as you are, about graffiti and art in general, you're a very passionate sneakerhead. So before I get into that, what's on feet today? AK, I see the AJ ones.
Love those, man.
Yeah, I'm in the composites that are splattered with paint. I actually have a question about the paint on sneaker thing later. I'll
Right.
ask you. What's on feet, man?
It's the Nike SB Ashad wear.
Nice. What year are those?
I think they just popped up recently. يعني maybe last year
Okay.
or recently in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Were those on retail or resale?
Retail.
Okay. All right.
nice. So that's technically on the other side, and this side too. Or is it?
It looks like a reverse swoosh.
Is
to
it
me.
a reverse swoosh?
It is.
It is.
It is
It
a
is.
reverse swoosh. Okay.
I think I showed where worked in this sneaker, and he took many elements of many basketball sneakers
Mm.
when it comes to this particular pair.
Right.
So there is one sneaker. Sorry, my knowledge in basketball players are really whack.
I think I know what you're talking about because Rodman.
Yeah.
They had an interview with Rodman.
That's Rodman. Yeah,
and he
very
was
much.
saying
The
I was the
first
first to
reverse
do the
swoosh.
reverse swoosh.
Yes.
I
So he took
completely
it from
forgot.
there.
Okay, wow. All
Yeah.
right. So Rodman was the OG reverse swoosh,
Yeah.
but then Travis did it.
Oh yeah.
Travis did, but these came out after the Travis.
Yes.
Okay.
And I
so-
believe that there is inspiration even in the colors when it
yeah,
comes
with
to
the brown,
Yeah.
the brown. Yeah,
It's
it's
something
actually a
similar.
dope shoe. I've never really seen this colorway on
Mhm.
SB. I'm not really an SB guy, but I understand how important SBs are to sneaker culture. And just recently, I mean, in the last 2 years, Dunk made a comeback. And were you into skateboarding?
Not really, not
Okay.
skateboarding, but I see skateboarding as a big thing when it comes to streetwear because like it's really close to graffiti.
Yep.
And graffiti, يعني you can say it didn't have that much of an impact back in the days when it comes to merchandise or something like this.
Mm.
Maybe visually أكثر من إنه يكون في lines or stuff like this.
Okay, so I mean, I love to ask this question to sneakerheads. It's a very, very tough question. Top 5 or top 3 sneakers of all time.
Top 3 sneakers of all time.
Let's do 5.
They don't have to be necessarily be in your collection.
Right. So
I know I put you on the spot, so let's do
3. I think I will go with what the young me believed in. So the Adidas Superstar is a big thing to me. The all white with the 3 black stripes.
Classic.
And The next one is gonna be the LeBron James 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So first.
Why that one?
I coped one back in 2011 or 2010,
Okay.
and it was Miami.
Yeah, the pink and green, I believe.
No, it was like أغلب الupper. It was white
Okay.
with the teal blue.
Steel blue. Okay.
It was just fascinating, man.
Nice, nice. So sentimental value, like they mean more
Yeah.
because. Okay.
One
Number
more.
3,
Number 3, yeah, the Jordan 4s.
Jordan 4s.
Yes.
Interesting
Colorway?
picks.
There is so many colorways when it comes to Jordan 4s. But
Yeah.
yeah, I will still go back with my memory. The white cement.
White
Is it the white
cements.
cement,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Those are actually my favorite Jordan 4. Maybe second favorite. I like the Birds, but dope, man. Great. So when did you first get into sneakers?
Uh, well, when it comes to sneakers, يعني, uh, for me as a young kid, I was always going to shops and looking into shops and stuff like this. I knew that I had this thing in me. Like I always appreciated sneakers, and maybe back then it was a much harder thing to cop a sneaker or get the sneakers that you want to, because if you want to go to school, you gotta buy a black pair, fully black pair.
Right.
So I was always excited, like, when can I get that fresh white pair, and
Yeah,
rock it?
or something with color,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah.
I think sneakers, يعني, is a big thing for me because for me, I'm a person who loves to walk and explore whatever I am in, يعني. So I consider sneakers as rides.
Like vessels, and comforts everything as well. So the Deev OTB connection. We've worked on quite a few pieces. I remember you hit me up right before the V through the ones who do,
Yes,
and you said I'd love to be a part of this event. I could do a piece. So that was our first uh, meeting, the first time we worked together, and then from there, we did the flag, we did the Tahayush piece, and obviously my favorite Deev piece of all time, hanging up in the warehouse. For the longest time, it was just an empty blank space, and I didn't know how to fill it up. And I believe it was last July where you said you wanted to come and do something. So thank you for that. I'm sure it's not going to be our last piece. There's so many more to come. You have a big project with
definitely.
us this Friday, actually. I know recently you traveled. You went to South Africa, and I noticed in the last month or so you've been going crazy, man. And I love it. I love it. I see the Deev who's like um nonstop creating, nonstop creating, and I love to see that, man. I love to see that. So recently, I know you took it back to the OG spot. You being an Ahmadi guy, um, you did 3 pieces that stood out. You want to talk to us about number one, your signature style, where you incorporate the rabbit. I'm curious to know about this rabbit, and the 3 latest pieces that you did.
So I will talk about the rabbit and how I got inspired to do this certain character. And the rabbit idea came to me back in 2010, I believe. It was the year before high school. I was in a Arabic lecture class.
My
And
favorite class.
yeah.
Everyone's favorite class.
So
Always fun.
usually the lecture, يعني, he will keep speaking, reading a paragraph or something. So I would go and sketch something on the book. So I was sketching a rabbit that looks like a human wearing a cap, New York Yankees cap, even with the jacket. تبع اليانكيز.
Yeah.
with a baseball مضرب وبall.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was insane يعني back in the days, and I showed it to my friends and they really digged it. So,
Nice. So it became your signature.
yeah,
Okay.
took off from that day.
Nice.
Maybe the inspiration is coming يعني subconsciously back from Looney Tunes,
Yeah.
something that I used to watch because I was watching like so many cartoons, anime on TV. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. And you mixed it in with kind of like streetwear with the Yankee cap. And
Yankees fan?
Uh, I really love the idea of Yankees يعني بس عامة I'm not into sport that much.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
into the merchandise of sport.
Okay. Okay. So you like
Yeah.
the.
That's an honest opinion. يعني.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I was very curious about the rabbit style. It's very cool. It's your signature. Like right before I even see your tag, when I see the rabbit, I know it's you. And I guess that's a big part of graffiti. It's all about finding your signature and letting people recognize it's your art. Let's rewind. Being a sneakerhead, you obviously want to take care of your sneakers, right? But you're also an artist, and being an artist comes with a lot of paint, a lot of paint splattering everywhere and dripping everywhere. I recently got into like stenciling and painting and spray painting. I'm not a spray painter, but I've been getting into it, and a lot of my sneakers have been kind
Think it's
of
destroyed.
yeah. So a lot of people will see them as destroyed, but when I look at this foam posit and I see all this orange paint, I right away remember uh, what I did while I was doing that. So to everyone else, that looks like a destroyed foam posit. To me,
It's a piece of art.
it's a piece of art because it's so unique and sentimental to myself. Now, would I spray paint in a pair of Platinum Air Yeezy 2s? No way. But there are a few shoes, even if they're more expensive, I don't mind them getting paint on them. Tell me about your opinions on that. Now, do you have shoes that save just for like beaters? You say, okay, I'm gonna spray paint. I don't care if this shoe's gonna get covered.
Yes, yes. I have like two pairs, an NMD Air Pegasus 92, I think, that I always use when I'm spray painting. But to be honest, like I think the approach that you took is the approach that I'm taking at the moment. I'm feeling like I want to rock this يعني, pair of sneakers while I'm painting. So I don't mind it if a little bit of the spray can or paint على sneaker, it's fine.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a piece of art. So I think many people will go insane on this. بس يعني yeah, I think this is more comfy.
Yeah,
يعني,
yeah. I feel
yeah.
as long as you see it as a shoe that is not spoiled, then this is. I'm going through that paint splatter even with my clothes. Same with you.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you don't mind with the
Man, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when you are a person who's interesting into, let's say, fashion or streetwear, footwear, and at the same time, there is an artist on you. You want to define the two characters in one. I think this is the outcome that will come with it. فاهم علي? And it happened to me like so many times. I'll be like in a family occasion or something like this, and wearing pants, any fresh pants. But then I will look at the pants. There is something on it,
Yeah.
Then I will be like, okay,
It's all right.
like it's everywhere. It's
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
You can't keep track on this. خلاص. You can't keep track
Yeah.
on this anymore.
Yes.
But do people comment on them? You get a lot of comments?
Maybe, but I think I'm fine with people commenting on it.
Okay, what are your thoughts? I'm just curious. If you get some paint on,
I mean,
Are you
look,
flipping out?
yeah, yeah. I'm very
I got that
OCD.
feeling. Yeah, I got
I'm
that
very
feeling.
OCD when it comes to that. But I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, a few paint
I try to
splatters here and
avoid that.
there.
So when you're working on a piece, I move as far away from you as I could.
Yes, yes. A lot of people do that when
Yeah.
I'm. So yeah, let's get into the three recent pieces
Mhm.
you painted. I believe there is. Why don't you tell us about them?
So when it comes to the recent three pieces that I've painted, I think each piece was representing something in my mental state of mind, let's say. For me as an artist, I love to do something similar to this where I can express myself, but at the same time, it is not that shown directly.
Right.
So I think these three pieces were going week by week. I was painting each piece on Friday, I think. Uh, so it was in a row, almost 3 weeks. I guess each piece was representing something in my state of mind.
Again, I saw you in South Africa. Beautiful photos, by the way, man. Uh, when you're, all artists go through this creative block, where they hit that wall, and sometimes it gets to them like I can't create, I can't give the world what they need, and I need to feel sane again. I need to feel happy. Uh, Number one, does that ever happen to you? And if it does, how do you get out of it? Is traveling one way to get inspired?
Uh, Traveling is definitely one way to get inspired, but at the same time, I think when we are talking about artist block, back in the days, I used to have artist block so many. This at the moment, like 3 years ago, تقريبا, أبداً. Uh, to be honest, when it comes to inspiration, I consider everything as an inspiration, and the holy grail thing for me when it comes to inspiration, I get inspired by people, by their characters, what they are doing, their music. They don't have to be even graffiti artists. When it comes to inspiration, I think it's infinity. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Driving in a car and you hear some lyric, or you're watching a commercial and you see just like a little color that comes in your mind. Yeah, it comes in many different forms. Traveling?
Traveling for me is of course it's a big thing. It's one of the main inspiration ways or gates, but you can't do it that much all the time. So yeah, uh, when I travel, I love to paint mostly, and يعني check the streets, look into elements and things that inspires me mostly. One of my goals, like if I ever traveled a place, I would love to paint a wall.
Speaking of inspirations, I saw recently you posted a photo of you and Futura. Tell me more about that. Futura, I mean, for everyone who doesn't know Futura, legendary graffiti artist. And I believe you met him at some conference somewhere. How was that?
So it was back in 2014 in Dubai. There was like a graffiti festival back then, the world biggest graffiti scroll. So we were almost 140 plus or 120 plus artists from all over the world.
Oh,
And to be honest, I was blessed to be one of the artists over there. I was young back then with a little of skill set. When it comes to painting and stuff like this. Uh, and I'll be honest with you, back in the days, I didn't even know who's Future 2000. I first met him, and I talked to him about a few things, and we used to live at the same hotel واكثر من شغله, وبعدين I got to know him. Yeah,
wow. Amazing. Met a legend.
yeah. And I didn't know that at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone was going insane. Many people was going insane about like, oh, Future 2000. And I was like, who's Future 2000? But then, yeah, I knew the story. It was crazy. يعني, he's one of the first people who started doing graffiti يعني, in his neighborhood.
All right. I have a question for you. So, as a graffiti artist, how challenging is it? Not just as being a graffiti artist in the state of Kuwait.
I think so many challenges. Like recently, a few days ago, there is a spot in Shueikh Market where all the graffiti artists gather and paint whatever they want to paint. يعني, a few days ago, we just went there and we saw many pieces covered randomly with a brush.
Vandalized.
Yes. And what's the reason? We have no idea, to be honest. It could be like many reasons, a religious reason or someone who doesn't like the artist of one, يعني, directly, personally, yeah. So I guess like the main issue or the main challenge over here in Kuwait is the idea of understanding what is art and what is art to the public. يعني, some people see it as vandalism or some people see it as something that you are brought up from the West يعني, and with no meaning. And some people does appreciate it, of course. So this is the main thing. بس بالنهاية يعني graffiti is a self expression form.
So mainly it's a lack of awareness that it's actually a form of art rather than it's just vandalism, because it's not. You're really expressing yourself, but instead of using a brush and a canvas, you're using walls or objects that are around.
Exactly.
So there's maybe it's the lack of education on that front.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So what advice would you have for, someone who's young, who's really getting into graffiti art and seeing all this happening around? Obviously, it's very discouraging. But what kind of advice would you have?
Yeah, this, for example, how old were you when you got into graffiti?
14 years old, 14 years old.
Okay, so just to play on AK's question, 2022 Deev, what will you tell the 14-year-old Deev?
To keep going, to be honest. Like, that's the main thing. As much as many challenges you face as an artist or a person who's passionate about something, just keep going with whatever you are doing and keep changing formulas. يعني don't stick to one, because at the end of the day, like, many people has many different opinions about many different things, but still, as long as your self-esteem is okay, that's it.
That's all that matters.
Adding on to that, what is one thing you would change or a decision you would take differently back then? Now, if you think about it now, as in 2022.
That's a hard one.
For example, in my case, if someone were to ask me that question, I would say pay more attention in class and take school more seriously. This is how I would answer.
Buy
All right.
crypto.
Huh?
Buy crypto.
Buy crypto? Oh yeah, that too. Although it's down.
To be honest, I would say this quote: everything happens for our favor. يعني بالنهاية, yeah.
You wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything, because I think if you are an artist, يعني, even the bad experiences that you get, يعني, somehow it inspires you. Maybe not at the moment, maybe after a while.
Okay.
No regrets. So on my way here, I sent you a voice note. I said, Deev, if you have anything
you want to bring that's important to you, that you feel should be, included in the podcast. And when you showed up, you brought this.
Yes.
So tell us more about this. Why did you choose to bring this piece?
So that was like a last call,
Yeah.
10 minutes
Yeah, sorry
decision
about
to
that, Bill,
brought
yeah.
this piece. بالعكس, amazing. Yeah. So this particular piece, I worked on it almost a year ago. And I painted it in Sleipgat beach. So the place is full of mud. And I was really inspired by it, by the place. That's why I chose the gray tones in the background. And I think the main focus on the piece is on the yellow and red color. It represents forces, like verses. The red is versing the yellow.
Dope.
Do you name your pieces?
Yeah.
Does this one have a name?
Yes, it's mud 0.2.
0.2.
0.2.
There is a في واحدة ثانية من.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
great
So this is
colors.
a second.
Mhm.
Nice.
We're gonna end this podcast by going to an OG spot in Ahmadi. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Walk the Walk. Today was a really dope episode with the brother here, Deev. We talked about his inspirations in art in general and him being a sneakerhead. Like, comment, subscribe, hit those buttons. I'm not really sure how to do this, but yeah. Thank you for
Share,
tuning in. Share all
TikTok,
that.
Instagram, everything.
Until next time. Peace.
Thank you for having me, TQ.
Always, man.
Okay.
Maybe, man.
Much respect.
Pleasure.
Until the
everyone.
next one. Peace out.